You've been told that manifesting your dreams is a struggle, that it requires endless affirmations, visualization exercises, rigid rituals, or exhausting effort. But what if everything you've been taught about manifestation is inverted? What if the very act of chasing is what keeps your desires just beyond reach? Quantum manifestation is not about effort. It's not about repeating words you don't feel or pretending your body isn't screaming a different truth. It is far simpler, far more elegant, and far more precise than most spiritual teachings will ever admit. Right now, in this moment, you exist inside a quantum field, an infinite, oscillating field of potentiality. Every possibility you can imagine, and so many you cannot, is already present here, humming, vibrating, waiting. This field does not respond to your struggle. It responds to your resonance. It does not care about how hard you push. It only cares about how coherent your signal is. Most people approach manifestation like a battle. They are warriors fighting a world that is already infinitely malleable. They chant affirmations while their bodies are locked in contraction. They visualize abundance while their nervous systems are broadcasting fear. They try to think positive, yet their heartbeat whispers scarcity. In the quantum domain, this is called noise. Noise disrupts probability. Noise scrambles the message. And the field, as elegant and precise as it is, responds with perfect mirroring. Here is the essence of quantum manifestation. It is not about getting what you want. It is about being the version of reality where your desires already exist. It is not about controlling the outside world first. It is about embodying the internal coherence that naturally draws that world to you. Every wave of possibility is waiting to collapse into a specific reality, but this collapse only occurs when it meets a coherent observer. You. Your focus. Your attention. Your emotional resonance. These are the instruments of reality. Yet most of us are misaligned observers. We gaze through lenses of fear, anxiety, and lack, trying to pull abundance while vibrating scarcity. We are like radio transmitters tuned to static, demanding a signal we cannot receive because we are broadcasting the wrong frequency. Manifestation is not a linear game. It is a resonance game, and resonance cannot be forced. Let's make this concrete. Think of the last time something arrived, effortlessly. A sudden opportunity, a perfect encounter, a breakthrough idea. What did you notice? You were relaxed. You were aligned. You were not gripping. You were not pushing. The manifestation happened in the absence of effort, not in its presence. That is the paradox most people miss. The less you force, the more the field responds. Quantum manifestation is about coherence. Coherence is when thought, emotion, and action are not three separate frequencies, but a singular, unified waveform. This is why affirmations alone fail. You can say "I am wealthy" 1,000 times, but if your body is in survival mode, if your heart is clenched, if your subconscious mind is wired for limitation, the field reads the deeper signal, not the spoken words. Quantum precision is ruthless. It mirrors your internal landscape, not your scripts. To step into quantum alignment, you must first tune your internal signal. The field is a cosmic translator, reading energy, not English. When your vibration is fragmented, thoughts at odds with emotions, emotions at odds with actions, the message is distorted. Reality then mirrors the chaos, not the vision. But when your waveform is coherent, when your being vibrates at a singular frequency, the quantum field responds immediately, with clarity, elegance, and precision. Here is where traditional manifestation teachings collapse. They focus on one layer, usually thoughts or feelings, and ignore the deeper architecture of alignment. They tell you to visualize, to affirm, to raise your vibration, but they do not teach you to integrate your subconscious, your body, and your heart field into a unified system. They do not teach you that the field reads the whole organism. Quantum manifestation is not a surface-level mental exercise. It is a full-body, full-system, full-field phenomenon. Let's explore the mechanics. At a fundamental level, quantum physics tells us that particles exist as waves of probability. They do not settle into a fixed state until observed. The observer effect is the bridge between potential and reality. But the observer is not merely your conscious mind. Your subconscious is an observer. Your heart, with its vast electromagnetic field, is an observer. Your nervous system, your body, your rhythm of breath, all are observers. This means that even if you consciously choose abundance, your hidden programs can collapse the wave into scarcity. Your subconscious is not a minor player. It is the decisive factor. Here is an example. Imagine you desire love. You write affirmations. You visualize a partner. You craft the perfect romantic blueprint. But deep down, your nervous system anticipates rejection. You carry old wounds of unworthiness. Your heart is guarded. The field reads the total signal. It sees the tension, the contradiction. What you receive mirrors that energy, not your wish. The quantum field is not punitive. It is precise. The shift then is not outward. It is inward. It is not about accumulating techniques. It is about becoming the embodiment of your desired frequency. You must practice the emotions of your desired reality before it manifests. You must live from the state of already having. You become the coherent signal that pulls the probability wave into form. This is where simplicity lies, and why it is so frequently overlooked. Because the human mind is addicted to doing, to controlling, to trying. Letting go of effort feels like giving up, and yet, surrender is the very tool the field waits for. Consider resonance as a metaphor. Imagine your consciousness as a radio dial. Reality broadcasts every possible frequency. If you are tuned to fear, you hear fear. If you are tuned to scarcity, you attract scarcity. You cannot hear jazz while tuned to heavy metal. Quantum manifestation requires tuning, internal adjustment, not external struggle. You adjust the dial, you radiate the signal, and the field responds. It is not manipulation, it is alignment. Alignment is subtle. It is emotional fluency. It is nervous system regulation. It is body awareness. It is heart-brain coherence. Researchers like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton show that the heart's electromagnetic field is far stronger than the brain's, radiating influence into the surrounding quantum field. When heart and mind are in coherence, the signal is powerful. When misaligned, the signal is weak. Most manifestation efforts fail because they ignore this truth. They attempt to will reality with the mind alone, bypassing the embodied resonance the field requires. To practice quantum manifestation, you must first observe yourself as a signal. Where are your thoughts, emotions, and actions in dissonance? Where is your subconscious broadcasting the opposite of your conscious intention? Where is your body contracting, tightening, or resisting? These are not mistakes. They are the clues. They are the hidden currents shaping the reality you experience. The next layer of quantum manifestation is often overlooked because it is invisible to the ordinary mind. Most teachings stop at thought work or emotional exercises, but the quantum field reads signals in ways you cannot see with your eyes, hear with your ears, or understand with logic alone. It reads coherence, rhythm, vibration, and entanglement. Every choice you make, every feeling you carry, every subtle twitch of your nervous system is an energetic imprint, a broadcast into the field. Let's take embodiment as an example. You might intellectually want abundance, but your daily actions, small hesitations, subtle judgments, micro-resistances, are the real signal. The universe does not read your affirmation, it reads your energetic footprint, the resonance you carry through each cell, each heartbeat. Coherence is built moment by moment, choice by choice, not by reciting mantras in isolation. Your body is a living antenna, your emotions are oscillating waves, and your mind is the conductor. Together they create the waveform that reality collapses around. Now, consider the paradox at the heart of quantum manifestation. The more you chase, the more you resist. The more you demand, the more you block. Wanting creates friction. Needing creates turbulence. But allowing, being, and embodying creates smooth pathways for probability waves to condense. This is not laziness or passivity. It is precision engineering of your own energy system. The field does not respond to effort. It responds to aligned presence. Here is a subtle but crucial principle. Quantum manifestation requires temporal coherence. This means you practice the frequency of your desire, not just occasionally but consistently across time. Every moment you dwell in alignment reinforces the wave. Every moment you slip into fear or scarcity rewinds the system. Manifestation is not a one-time event. It is a temporal resonance. It is the rhythm of being that shapes probability. Let's deepen the mechanics. In quantum physics, particles exist in superposition. They are everywhere and nowhere at once, every possibility coexisting simultaneously. The wave only collapses into a particular reality when an observer interacts with it. In your life, That observer is not only your conscious awareness but your entire energetic system. Every thought, emotion, and bodily signal is part of the observation. This is why internal misalignment collapses waves into undesired outcomes. You are both the creator and the lens, the observer and the observed. Now, let's apply this practically. Imagine you want a breakthrough in creativity. You could visualize, affirm, and write your plans. But if your body is tense, your mind scattered, your heart closed, the field receives a fragmented signal. It is not punishing you. It is reflecting the exact vibration you are broadcasting. The solution is to cultivate coherence first. A simple practice: breathe deeply, notice tension, allow the nervous system to soften, and feel curiosity rather than pressure. Act from this aligned state, even in tiny ways. This shifts the signal, and the wave begins to collapse toward the reality you are now embodying. Emotional mastery is the linchpin of quantum manifestation. People often assume that feeling good is enough. But quantum alignment does not bypass real emotion. It does not require you to force joy over fear. It requires emotional fluency, the ability to feel fully, recognize patterns, and return to coherence without judgment. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is data. It is the signal of misalignment. When you observe fear with presence rather than resistance, your system recalibrates. The field then reads clarity instead of conflict. Here is another critical insight. The subconscious is the ultimate observer. It runs approximately 95% of your daily life, guiding automatic behaviors, emotional responses, and energetic states. Conscious intention alone is insufficient. If your subconscious is programmed with scarcity, unworthiness, or limitation, it collapses the wave into the familiar timeline, regardless of your conscious desire. This is why affirmations without embodiment fail. Quantum manifestation requires rewiring the subconscious through repeated, coherent, energetic experience, not just repetition of words. Your heart is another powerhouse in this system. Studies show the heart's electromagnetic field is far stronger than the brain's and radiates outward, interacting with your surrounding field. When your heart and brain are coherent, aligned in intention, emotion, and action, your signal is amplified exponentially. When they are misaligned, your message becomes weak, scrambled, and easily reflected back as frustration. Quantum manifestation is a whole body, whole system affair. Thinking alone will never collapse probabilities into form. Feeling alone will not suffice. Action alone is insufficient. The entire organism must resonate in unity. Let's examine a concrete case. Manifesting love. You may visualize a partner and repeat affirmations about attraction. But if your subconscious expects rejection, if your heart is armored, if your body is tense with distrust, the field reads the deeper, incoherent broadcast. What appears in your reality mirrors that misalignment: fleeting connections, near misses, or repeated patterns of absence. The quantum field is impartial, reflecting energy, not desire. The key is not to chase love, but to embody the frequency of love now. You open your heart in small ways, extend kindness, practice vulnerability, and feel worthy of giving and receiving love. These are the subtle calibrations that collapse the desired reality into form. This principle extends to abundance. You cannot manifest wealth by thinking about it constantly while your body tenses, your mind doubts, and your emotions tighten around scarcity. Abundance is not a number in the bank. It is a vibrational state. The more you cultivate that state internally, generosity, presence, trust, the more the field mirrors it outward. The moment you feel scarcity gripping you, notice, breathe, and realign. This is the rhythm of coherence. Small, consistent micro-alignments create macro shift. Here's a paradox. The less you need, the more the field delivers. Desire without attachment, intention without grasping, and vision without tension create resonance without friction. Most manifestation fails because humans are wired to control, to measure, to micromanage. The field is not controlled, it is mirrored. You do not manifest by force. You manifest by presence, coherence, and alignment. This is the secret of effortless manifestation, simplicity that is disarming and almost counterintuitive. Your daily life is your laboratory. Each interaction, thought, and emotion is data for the field. The moment you realize that manifestation is not about accumulation but alignment, everything shifts. You stop striving to make things happen and begin calibrating your internal state. Small practices anchor this principle. Notice tension in the body and release it intentionally. Observe emotional loops without judgment and choose coherence. Align thoughts, feelings, and actions, even in micro decisions. Cultivate presence in every interaction, every moment. These are not techniques. They are quantum calibrations. Each moment you align, you collapse probabilities toward the reality you desire. Each moment you resist, you reinforce the old timeline. Manifestation is a living feedback loop, a dance of resonance, not a linear checklist. And here's the final piece in this section. Community and environment matter energetically. Humans are entangled beings. Your field interacts with the fields around you. Surround yourself with coherence, with those practicing alignment, and your resonance amplifies sick or misaligned environments drain energy and scatter your signal. The quantum field reads the ecosystem of your life, not just your isolated intentions. Align your inner system and curate your outer system. Both are necessary to maintain a coherent broadcast. Now that we understand the mechanics, the field, and the importance of coherence, the next step is practice, but not practice in the sense of repetition or ritualistic effort. Quantum practice is about micro-alignments, subtle adjustments in real time that keep your frequency consistent. Think of it like tuning a high-precision instrument. The strings are your body, your mind, and your heart. The notes are your thoughts, feelings, and actions. When each element vibrates in unison, the music of manifestation emerges effortlessly. Let's start with a practical exercise for frequency calibration. Begin each day with 3 conscious breaths. With each inhale, feel the energy of your desire as if it already exists. With each exhale, release tension, fear, or resistance. Feel the microcurrents in your body, the tightening in your chest, the clenching in your jaw, the shallow rhythm of your nervous system. Breathe into them, soften them, and let the body's signal shift from contraction to coherence. This is your daily energetic tuning. Next, embody the version of you who already has what you seek. Imagine the life, the love, the abundance as your lived reality. But don't stop at thought. Move through it physically. Adjust posture, movement, tone of voice, facial expression, and rhythm of your breath. Your body is a transmitter. Every subtle cue it emits sends a wave into the quantum field. Align these signals with your intention. When the field senses your holistic embodiment, it responds with matching probability waves, guiding circumstances toward your reality. For love, embodiment is about vulnerability and heart openness. Begin with small intentional acts, listening fully, offering kindness without expectation, softening judgment toward yourself and others. Place a hand on your heart, breathe, and feel your capacity to receive and give. Emotional coherence radiates outward. Your subtle energetic signature becomes a magnetic field. This is not charm or manipulation. It is the resonance of authentic alignment. The quantum field responds not to who you want, but to who you are being. For abundance, embodiment requires generosity, presence, and trust. Don't wait for external signs to feel wealthy. Practice abundance in perception. Notice the richness of your environment, the quality of relationships, the moments of opportunity that already exist. Make small gestures that reflect wealth of spirit. Share attention, energy, and gratitude. Your nervous system internalizes abundance when you move in a flow of giving, receiving, and appreciating. This internal state radiates a coherent waveform into the field, pulling external wealth to match your vibration. Health is similarly a frequency alignment. Stop scanning for what is wrong. Instead, cultivate awareness of what is right. Every cell in your body resonates with attention. Feel energy flowing through your organs, muscles, and tissues. Use movement, breath, and touch to reinforce vitality. Treat your body as a responsive system, not a machine to be controlled. When you embody health, the quantum field responds with supportive probabilities, often creating synchronicities like ideal workouts, restorative environments, and healing encounters. These practices are not static. They require dynamic feedback. Throughout your day, notice signals of misalignment, tension, constriction, impatience, resistance. Pause, breathe, recalibrate. Ask yourself, which version of me is speaking through this moment? The one aligned with my desired frequency or the one trapped in old patterns? Micro adjustments are far more powerful than grand rituals. The quantum field mirrors subtle shifts with immediate precision. Another powerful practice is energetic reflection at day's end. Before sleep, scan your body and mind. Where did coherence shine? Where did resistance appear? Replay the day not with judgment, but with curiosity. Notice choices aligned with your desired frequency and savor them. Observe moments of misalignment without shame. By reflecting and recalibrating nightly, you reinforce coherence as a lived habit, strengthening the waveform that dictates your reality. Let's explore the concept of quantum layering. You do not manifest in one dimension. Love, abundance, health, and purpose are interconnected. Align one area and the signal reverberates into the others. The nervous system, heart, mind, and body communicate like entangled particles. A shift in one creates a shift in all. Therefore, coherence in one domain amplifies manifestation across multiple dimensions. Small daily practices ripple outward, accelerating the collapse of your desired reality. A subtle art is managing environmental resonance. The people, media, spaces, and energies around you are constantly interacting with your field. Energetic clutter creates interference. Curate your environment to amplify coherence. Spend time with aligned individuals. Engage in practices that elevate frequency. Remove stimuli that create dissonance. Treat your environment as an extension of your internal system. It either reinforces or diminishes your quantum signal. Now consider the role of time and patience in quantum manifestation. Unlike linear cause and effect, the field operates in a probabilistic flow. You may embody alignment today, but probabilities may take time to collapse into external evidence. This is not delay, it is quantum gestation. Trust in the unseen waveform. The evidence will align with your resonance often when least expected. Waiting without resistance is an active state of co-creation, not passive hope. Here is a practical embodiment practice for staying anchored in frequency amidst resistance. When external circumstances contradict your desired reality, feel the sensation fully. Notice tension, frustration, or impatience. Then gently ask, if I were already in my desired timeline, how would I feel right now? Engage body, breath, and emotion in alignment with that state. Take one small action from that place. The field reads this coherence and begins bending probability toward it. Another practice involves vibrational journaling. Instead of recording events, record frequencies, emotions, sensations, choices, alignment, and misalignment. Name them explicitly. For instance, today I embodied trust for 10 minutes while negotiating a challenge, or I caught myself in fear and realigned through breath. This trains your nervous system and subconscious to recognize and sustain coherence. Journaling becomes a map of alignment, a tangible interface with the quantum field. Visualization in quantum terms is not a mere mental image. It is energetic rehearsal. Engage the senses fully, feel the emotional resonance, embody the physicality of your desired reality. Move as if your desires are already lived. Touch, taste, hear, see, and sense the timeline you are collapsing. The field does not respond to static imagination. It responds to dynamic, embodied signal. Now, let's integrate all of this into a daily quantum routine. Morning calibration, conscious breathing, energetic tuning, micro-alignment, embodiment practice. Move, speak, act, and feel as the version of you who already inhabits your desired reality. Micro-adjustments. Throughout the day, notice misalignment. Pause, breathe, recalibrate, choose coherence. Environmental tuning. Interact with aligned people, spaces, and media. Remove interference. End-of-day reflection. Observe coherence. Celebrate alignment. Note resistance. Recalibrate energy. Prepare nervous system for rest. Energetic journaling. Record frequencies, embodied practices. Subtle shifts and reflections. Quantum manifestation is not a formula. It is a living dance with probability. Your internal state dictates the form reality takes. You are not manipulating the universe. You are entangled with it. You are both the waveform and the observer, the signal and the receiver. When your system is coherent, reality bends effortlessly. When fragmented, the field mirrors the dissonance. Finally, let's close with high-impact reflection. What is the frequency you are radiating right now? Where are your thoughts, emotions, and actions aligned? Where are you broadcasting contradiction, tension, or resistance? How can you micro-adjust in this moment to collapse probability toward the timeline you desire? Remember, manifestation is not about doing more. It is about being more. Not about efforting, but about embodying. Not about chasing, but about radiating coherence. The quantum field does not respond to desire. It responds to presence, alignment, and vibrational clarity. Step into this practice with curiosity and commitment. Breathe, feel, observe, align, and then allow the field to mirror your coherent waveform. Your desires are already entangled with you. You are not creating from nothing. You are tuning into what already exists. This is the elegance of quantum manifestation, simple, precise, infinitely intelligent, and yet, because it requires letting go of control, almost nobody does it. So take your first micro step now. Breathe, feel, and embody your desired state. Notice the subtle shift in energy. Let the wave of possibility respond. Each coherent moment compounds into reality. Each alignment becomes a gravitational pull. The universe is waiting, not outside you, but through you. Be the waveform. Be the observer. Be the frequency. The rest is quantum unfolding.